Now this for everybody fighting through the pain and the pressure. You know life will try to test you, but you promise not to give up for your mama and your sister, and your brother and your cousin, everybody else that's with you. You the one that's gonna deliver like Amazon Prime. Always on time, yeah. Even when it's looking bad, I never stop trying, cause I've been stressing, I've been crying. My depression had me blind. Sometimes I can't see the signs, but I keep going, I ain't lying. It's for everyone that's grinding for their kids, you're not alone. It's for every child that promised they gon' buy their mama home. For all my 9-to-5ers going hard to make that green clock out, then you just go harder, cause you still got chase that dream. For all my starving, evolving artists, just keep going hard, regardless how people talking about us. You gon' build that startup.
Hi, good morning. It's Sunday and I'm on live, and this is a very special edition live because I normally do my lives during the week, but I'm really excited to be here. Good morning, Mark. Mark says, oh no, not June and Tony. Yes, I have Tony here, and I'm so excited to welcome him on the show. This show is really for me, and I know lots of people in my community could definitely use Tony's advice because everyone's going into the new year, setting up their goals for the new year, especially around health and fitness. And I really want to encourage my community and any viewers out there to be on this journey with me, just because I have been on a roller coaster of, trying to find that balance between working out and having a healthy lifestyle. So let's welcome, hello, good morning, T. Hello, Joan. Let's welcome Tony. Tony.
Hello, what's happening?
How are you, my friend?
I'm very good. And yourself?
You're finally here. We're finally doing this.
You're finally going to get this information to crush your goals in 21.
Yes. Do you want to introduce yourself to my community? I know we've been networking with each other for a few months now.
Mm-hmm. We have.
And I love what you do. I love your videos. And I tried to convince you last year to join me on a live to do a workout. I don't know if you remember.
I can see what happened. As long as you don't ask me to dance with you, I'll be fine.
Well, why don't you introduce yourself for those that don't know you?
So I'm Irish. I'm from Northern Ireland. I've been a coach for 25 years, coaching other people. And it actually happened accidentally from people asking me to help them after he's seen the change I had made with my own life. So as the world called on me to be a coach, then I've developed that over the last 25 years to come through most of the usual fitness rubbish that I'm sure a lot of you hear, and to try and make it real world stuff that we can relate to, nutrition that we can actually follow to get in shape, and workouts that fit into our busy schedules.
Before we kind of give you the floor to share your wisdom and your advice, I wanted to share this TikTok with you because this is the last time I did a fitness challenge. And anytime I do a fitness challenge, I kind of go through this binge process where I'm trying to eat everything that I want to eat that I won't be able to have. But this is how diets go, you guys. Let me show you.
To say goodbye to yesterday.
That's just a typical weekend for me.
I saw your video on Friday. You talked about what do you enjoy eating while you're watching Netflix. Okay, so let's talk about this then. Let's talk about, actually, before we talk about healthy habits when it comes to eating, I would love to hear from you as an expert. Why is it so important to exercise for productivity and just to have that energy to fuel you throughout the day?
Well, let's make it simple. One word: flow. We all want flow in our body, in our digestion, which will then help increase our thought processes and then our productivity. So if you exercise, you're going to have blockages in your system. The heart's going to work harder. And what it's going to do is force the blood around, force the digestion to work harder, and then force those synaptic processes to be able to think better and everything else. A lot of people, when they exercise, get their best ideas, their most creative ideas, things that you could maybe be stuck on the rest of the day. And then you're exercising, you go, oh, I have to write that down quick. And then you take a break from your exercise. So for creativity, for me personally, and for most of my clients, exercise is really good to remove, let's say, the negative mental blocks and to help us optimize that creativity and then productivity if we plan things properly.
No, I love that you said that it increases your productivity and then improves your creativity. Also, too, from my experience, just because I was talking to Tony about how I was really only on 4 to 5 hours of sleep. But what happens to me when I do get these ideas, Tony, and usually the ideas come in the morning for me, like creative ideas, sometimes I feel that anxious energy that I can't stop thinking about the idea, that I need to get my body moving to get that energy out. So what I did yesterday, I went for a run. So can you talk about that too? How it also reduces your anxiety and kind of calms you?
100%. So if you think about the energy in the body has got no clear direction. It's like an explosion. And that's what's causing you that overwhelm and that anxiousness. And your thoughts can't gather themselves. So when you go and put that energy, part of it into exercise, you've channeled it. And then by the time you come back, you can filter out the fluff around those thoughts and then just get a clear direction. The same thing happens to me.
Yeah. What is like your go-to workout when that happens to you? Whenever you have that like boost of like ideas to help calm you?
For me, I need to get my heart rate up high. I need to really push myself. And part of that is I feel like giving up as soon as I reach that limit on the warm-up of your heart rate. So if I go for a run, it's always, no matter how fit I get, it's always the first 2 kilometers are the parts where I feel like, man, my legs are sore. I don't want to do this. Would anybody really know if I just walk back home? This is the way you start thinking. And when you get over that initial negative attribute in the beginning, and you start warming up and the heart starts pumping like mad, then you feel good. And then you just want to keep pushing it. So a run for me is amazing for that. Or doing a very high intensity weighted or kettlebell workout.
Oh yeah, I love seeing your kettlebell workouts. You know what's funny is every time I see your workout videos, I feel like I'm burning calories just watching you.
Wouldn't it be amazing if it was that easy? You just plugged into YouTube or whatever, and next thing you burn calories. There's an invention for us.
No, I love it. I actually love, I love doing HIIT workouts, like high intensity interval training, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Just because I tend to have short time frames because I'm a mother, I have, a family, a husband and children and a puppy, and it's kind of hard to carve out some time. So what is your advice for busy professionals, entrepreneurs, parents that have all the excuses in the world that they can't carve out 20, 30 hour of their day to work out? What is your best tips on how to carve in a workout for busy people?
So typically I follow the same process. I'm sitting at the computer, I get focused on some work, and then I go, damn, I need to work out today. So it's 20 minutes. And I think, how can I optimize 20 minutes? So sometimes your warm up can be 5 to 10 minutes and you go, I don't even have time to do a structured warm up. So I look at a workout that'll cover a push movement, a pull movement, a legs movement, and a rotational movement. So that could simply be squats, push up, bend over row, and then bicycle
Crunches.
abs for rotation. Yeah, bicycle crunches, but do that with very little rest. So what I do is, if it's something you need to warm up in, start off with 5 reps on everything, then 6 reps, then 7 reps, then 8 reps, then 9 reps, and just keep going. You're trying to do this with no rest, but because you're progressively building up the amount of reps, your body will slowly adapt.
I love that. So basically adding more reps in increments.
Yes.
That's what you're saying, right? What about like how important is it to like balance cardio and then like weightlifting?
It depends on what your goal is. If you're purely just wanting to stay in shape, I would say 60 to 70% of resistance training, if not more. You only really need to do cardio to, let's say, help you recover or to increase your heart health. Because I focus on high levels of fitness for like obstacle course racing, although COVID has killed that, but
Right.
for martial arts and various other elements, then that's why I like to maintain a high level of fitness. But if you're not doing endurance events, it's more beneficial to do weights. But you can get fit by using weights in the format I just suggested. So
You
just
said
pick,
again, last thing you could do what? More than what?
you can get fit in the format I just suggested. So
Mhm.
pick 4 exercises: legs, push, pull, and rotation that fall into that category. And just try to increase the weight if it's too light, or increase the reps.
Yeah. Mark says, actually, this is one of my favorite workouts is Tabata.
Yeah,
I
that's
love
it.
doing Tabata, and I usually like will put something on Spotify where I think it's like Tabata. You do each workout or exercise for 20 seconds, right?
That's
10
it.
seconds off.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
I love that. Well, hello, good morning, Claire. Claire, I'm trying to ask Tony here some workout tips for moms here. And I definitely have a passion for working out. And you mentioned you've done obstacle races, and this is how you train. I've participated. I'm sure you probably participated in this, but Spartan races.
Absolutely, yes. I
Done
love
one in my
Spartan
life.
and
Don't
Tough
know if I'm going to
Mudders.
do it again. It's crazy.
It's good. It's a good test.
It is.
And
I
it's a good
cried
bit of
after my first
camaraderie.
one. What's that?
It's a good bit of camaraderie as well, because everybody's helping each other to get over the obstacles and motivate each other.
No,
We need more of
exactly.
that.
T asks, working out us. I think she's asking, working out is intimidating, especially when I don't exercise. How do I start? So what is your tip there, Tony, for
So
people that want to start?
always start off then with body weight exercises first. Get used to the movements. So simple exercises like squats without a weight, push-ups from your knees for UT. You could then do like planks. You could then lunges, step ups, shoulder press with just water bottles in the beginning, bicep curls with that. So keep the workouts progressive. Keep it very short in your first 1 or 2 workouts, and then as your body starts to adapt, you can start increasing more time or increasing more weight. If you start off too hard, too fast, yes, you will demotivate yourself.
Ooh, what do you mean by that? Too hard, too fast? Can you be a little bit more
So
specific?
what can happen is people new to fitness can see a workout on LinkedIn or on YouTube or whatever it is, and do the whole workout, and then they're sore for 3 weeks after it.
Oh yeah.
Because their body's not used to, it hasn't adapted to that phase of training. And every one of us needs to adapt slowly to different phases of training. So that's why it's important that it's more personalized, or working on beginner type workouts before you go on to the next. So just be more personable about it.
Yeah. Because like you said, like you're kind of putting your body into a shock too, right? Especially if you haven't
Absolutely.
worked out in a long time. And if you just kind of gradually start off slowly and then just add more intense workouts, I can see how can that be like very beneficial. I remember the time that, and I used to do CrossFit back in the day. And that's what actually helped me lose my baby weight from my first child. Tony, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm still trying to lose the weight from my second child, and she's 4.
So what do you need help with?
I think the biggest thing is probably because I've mentioned before when we went on on live, I love working out, but I have the biggest sweet tooth. And I commented on your post, and I think you actually posted something last week. I'm going to bring up your oops, sorry, my everyone's in the house today, guys. You posted something about you're always giving tips on how to eat healthy, especially too if you have those sweet cravings. So that's my biggest thing, Tony, is the eating portion, like eating piece. And I know it's about, I think it's 80% diet. Is it 80% diet, 20% fitness? Is that what it is?
Well, you could argue percentages, but most of it's nutrition.
Yeah.
You could drop the baby weight without even exercising if you just manage nutrition, but then you wouldn't be able to eat so much.
Yeah.
So you're there. Look, you have a PDF on my profile there.
I'm trying to look it up here. I just love your videos. Please follow Tony. I put his link in the comments. Where is the PDF? I saw it here somewhere. But yeah, every time I see Tony working out, it just always, it's like you give me that reminder because you post videos on a daily basis, I believe. Yes. Which is so great. It's this one right here, Sweet Tooth. Tell me about this here.
So I have a sweet tooth myself, and I do love my biscuits, my cookies, my whatever it might be. And of course, you can go down the route of trying lower calorie items, but a lot of them just taste like crap. Let's be honest.
They do.
So it's a scenario of if I try to use a 20 to 30% rule of everything I eat is, let's say, junk. Okay. So if I can follow that rule, that means 70% to 80% of the food I eat is actually sort of clean food. It's the boring stuff. Then I can find that balance and still stay on track with my nutrition. So what I would say there is if you're eating 3 times a day, that's 7 days a week, that's 21 meals. So if you're eating 30% of the time is fun food, so that's 21 divided by 10 is 2.1 multiplied by 3. 6 meals per week you can have that where you're fun food. So that just means that you maybe allow yourself 1 meal a day that's fun.
Wait, I got too excited there. I actually exited out. You need to repeat that for me.
So
you said something about fun food.
So if you're eating 21 meals a week, that's 3 meals a day. Okay, you can eat approximately 6 meals per week that are fun foods. Now, what the trick there is working out. I know this is boring and nobody wants to do this, but it lets you basically have your cake and eat it too. So if you know what your calorie guidelines are, it doesn't matter if you have a high day and then a low day, as long as over 7 days, your average is what it should be. So you don't need to feel guilty if, let's say, on a Friday or a Saturday, you would eat maybe 1.5 times your normal amount of calories, as long as you can make up for it the rest of the week.
Wait, Verna says she got excited when she heard fun food. Yeah. I went to go get my bag of Oreos.
That's it. So an example is the video I posted up on my profile that you just showed. And yesterday I was actually feeling very weak because I've worked out so much this week. I went to walk to the beach. I came back to my girlfriend's and I bought a box of cookies. And I ate every single cookie. And she says, "How many cookies are in that?" And I went, I think 50. So it turned out it was 4,000 calories.
Wait, you ate it in one sitting?
In one sitting. So how do I counteract that? I had to do extra workout today.
Got it.
To help me counteract that. So it's not saying you can eat whatever you want, but as long as you know how to counteract the balance of that, then you're okay. I
love that. I love how, because I've tried so many different things. Like I've done one style of eating or diet, I guess, was like the whole paleo thing. When I was doing CrossFit, and then when I had my first child back in 2015, that's when I took a year and a half off from work, I was part of this nonprofit called No Excuse Mom. So I was hosting free workouts at local parks, and gyms were approaching me and asking me, would love for you to bring your moms here and we'll host free workouts. And then a CrossFit gym sponsored me and said, we'll give you a free membership if we document your whole fitness journey on YouTube. So, which was a great experience. And I look back at that video because that was, in 2015. I'm like, oh my gosh, I really want to get back to that place. But I want to try to find a more sustainable way of eating, because I love having my sweets. And I feel like your kind of method is productive, and you're not limiting yourself to the foods that you want to crave. I want to ask you this. Why do you think fad diets don't do well? Why do people fail?
Because they're habits. They're habits that you're not going to keep up after the program, because you do enjoy your Oreos, you do enjoy your, whatever it might be. I'm just reading what Mark says here. Come on. Cookie. No, Mark, you're actually wrong. Cookies are cookies.
Oh, this is a good question. Okay, this is a good question. What thoughts are attached to food?
I don't understand the concept of what that question means, Jacob. Sorry.
I know a lot of people. I mean, I'm going to be real. I know there's like people like moms in my network and friends that they always say when it comes to like, there's like emotional eating, all of that.
Of course, yes.
That's what I'm thinking. That's how I'm interpreting that question.
Okay, so in that scenario, that's addressing what the actual problem is. And self-awareness is a key component to why you do that. So it's looking at why do you emotionally eat? Because it's settling a craving. It's short-term fix. So maybe it's just a matter of taking a step back, getting a program aligned, getting it planned, and then looking at what is the stress that makes you stress eat. I've in the past I've used alcohol and I've used food as well for, when I've been stressed, and it's a matter of becoming self-aware with that. Yes, there definitely is emotions, with food, 100%. And I'm on a 90-day challenge off alcohol. And because I'm not drinking alcohol, not that I was an alcoholic or anything, but I have more cravings for foods. So it's just realizing that, and it's a case of those emotions that are attached to food. Food is just an outlet. It's not actually the food. The food makes you feel good temporarily, but you could actually make exercise make you feel good temporarily, or doing something for somebody. So you just replace that emotion with another task, and then that's how you get around that.
That's actually something I've read Atomic Habits by James Clear. Yeah. And he talks about how you replace bad habits with positive habits.
Yes.
I love that. T says it's psychological.
So can I share a story? I think it was
of course.
Tony Robbins shared this story about there was an event in a large warehouse beside a train track. And every time he was speaking or trying to say a lot of important things on the stage, trains came by and he honked the horns. And everybody went, fuck, all this here stuff, we can't hear you, Tony. And he says, change your thought process. And then that's a trigger. So it could be a trigger of anything in your life. And instead of feeling angry, you'll feel positive. So every time a train goes by and honks the horn, go, yo! So everybody in the club or in the event went, yo. And so what we're teaching people with that process is you have an emotional attachment to something. So if you flip the switch on that emotional attachment, it no longer has, for example, the negative aspect. So that could be similar to whenever you're eating food to get over something negative, find something more positive to do that.
Attached to that, yeah.
Yeah, so
like kind of like changing
that trigger, take the food away and put something else in.
Something that's more of like positive.
Yeah, so an easy way to put it to yourself is if the emotional eating is making you unhappy, attach the emotional eating to unhappiness. and use that in the opposite way. And say, so every time then it will take practice, because every habit takes practice. But if you find yourself eating extra and you go, I don't even know why I'm eating this. And you go, oh, I need to put this bag of chips down, put it away, or don't have it in the house, so it's becoming self-aware of those habits and then attaching either a positive or a negative to it to either pull you towards something else or rebel you away from what you're doing.
I love that. How long do you think that I think someone asked here, when it comes to like reprogram our thought process and the way we look at our food and the way we look at how we cope with, stress. I mean, it does. And I've read this before, and I think everyone says this. It takes about 21 days to make a habit.
Well, there's different schools of thought in this, but the more you can practice it, the better it will become. For example, I'm a martial artist most of my life. If it only took 21 days to develop a new skill, then wow, I'd be a multi-millionaire winning all the fights in the world. So,
right.
It's easy enough to say it's 21 days to build a habit, but I would say it's actually a lot more.
Yeah. Well, I would love to, why don't you share your program for anyone that is interested?
Well, it's just a matter of I personalize the program to the individual. So if somebody eats a certain way, then I look at how can we change those eating habits if they're needed step by step to help improve the long-term habits. And I'm all about enjoying your food, as you know, but it's just a matter of making sure that everybody in my program is not overwhelmed too much in the beginning, and it's step by step.
I love that. These are like great transformation picks, by the way.
Yeah. And it's all about
5 months. Wow. Yeah. I'm reading this. Tony helped change my life around. I was unhappy, lethargic. I was so nervous before I started. Now I've lost 50 pounds. I went from a size 24 to a size 16. I'm going to drop your website in the comments. That's amazing. I love that.
It's all about removing the overwhelm and taking it step by step. And then when you're on a program like this, distract the noise. Because there's always going to be shiny object syndrome about, this diet works better and this diet works better. But if you try too many things at once, you're never going to get results, because the fastest way anywhere is a straight line. So you have to, it's like trying to drive a car in 5 different directions at once, you'll get nowhere.
Oh, I love that. That's why it's like so important to get like laser focus on one path. One idea. Method.
Yes.
Go ahead, what you say.
So it's just give it a chance. Like if you're doing it correctly, within 2 to 4 weeks, you'll already see a difference. You'll feel a difference. Within as much as even 7 to 10 days, a lot of people will feel energy levels increase. They might even feel like if they have any sort of bloating, that it will decrease, and then after 4 to 6 weeks, you'll see the body change. You'll probably feel clothes fitting differently. It's one path, stick to it, give it a chance.
Thank you. I put Tony's website in the comments here. Mark says that 21 day has been kabooshed.
Yeah.
The research shows, depending on other factors, your attention will support, etc. A habit can take an average of 44 with a range of 21 to 128 days. That definitely seems more realistic.
Exactly as I said. Yeah, it definitely takes a lot longer than 21 days.
Yeah. What are your last 3 tips for anyone out there that is looking to get fit but don't know where to start?
Plan your workouts. Have a certain time of the day where the phone goes off, avoid distractions, and even if it's 10 to 15 minutes, start with those 10 to 15 minutes. And just planning is everything. With your food, you're always going to have, let's say, unknowns. But if you can plan at least 50 to 70% of it, then you're more likely to get better results.
Yeah, I love that. Plan your workout. What a good practice for me is too, because I like running in the morning, or like when I'm right now, I'm like, I used to be at a point where I was working out 4 to 5 times a week, and I'm just slowly graduating to now maybe like 2 to 3 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
But what a good practice for me is, and this is something that I read afterwards in Atomic Habits is like surround yourself with different things that's going to remind you of those positive habits. So one thing that I did is every time I woke up in the morning, I had my clothes ready for me to go run. Or I even just slept in my workout gear if I wanted to get a workout in the morning. So
So can I get, so we all have our personal goals we want to achieve, whether it is workouts or whether it's business or whether it's relationships. And whenever I'm really struggling with something, what I do is make sure everywhere I can, there's reminders. Like I actually have this here is like a vision map. I can't show you what it is. It's personal.
It's like a vision board. Oh, hey, J Mall. Look at my fam. So crushing the game and dropping bombs of wisdom. Here for it. He's also in a fitness journey, J Mall. Yay, Jay. I'm actually trying to get some advice from Tony here. Okay, talk about that vision board, that vision, that paper right there.
Vision board is very important. Have it as a reminder, as on your screensaver. Maybe have it pinned to a wardrobe in the bathroom. Just everywhere that you're not even going to notice it over time, but it's going to be sending these signals to your brain to push forward for that goal, whatever it is, whether it's business or fitness. And it's very, very powerful. And then maybe say to yourself affirmations every day of what it is you want to achieve. And imagine you have already achieved it. Don't say, don't keep saying to you, I'm going to, or I will do this in a month. Say, I have already achieved this.
Yes, like visualize the success. Visualize those goals already as if they're like speak it to existence. This is what I tell my clients when it comes to their job search. So it's very similar concepts, but you're just applying it to different goals. But absolutely. And I've created a vision board too. And that's definitely on my vision board is like be consistent, because I just go in this like roller coaster. And often too, now I'm just venting. Often too, sometimes I prioritize my business and my work and my clients.
Yeah, we all have that. So instead of saying be consistent, because that doesn't have a value attached to it, you need to have something like, I am now size XYZ dress. Right. So that's a very strong visual. So if you attach that very strong, defined figure to your goal, you will be more likely to move towards it. Because if it's too vague, then you can escape.
Yeah, you get to have something actually tangible that you're working on, because you know what you have to do to work towards it. Great advice here, Tony. Where can people find you if they want to learn a little bit more on how they can work with you?
LinkedIn profile, Tony Scullion Official, or just look through. Just so you look through June's content, you'll probably see I've liked quite a lot of it.
Okay, I put Tony's LinkedIn profile. I tagged him right here. Yes, I'm always commenting on him. But thank you so much, Tony. I really appreciate your time. Great tips that you shared. Thank you so much for spending your Sunday morning with us.
Thank you.
And thank you guys for joining. Again, please connect with Tony if you want to learn a little bit more about how he can help you. And then I will be going live tomorrow with my special classroom, June's Classroom Corner with Martin McGovern. And then my last episode of my New Year live glow up series will be on Wednesday with Marcus Chan and Adrian Trembo. Anything else you want to last share before we go?
If you haven't started on your fitness, get started. You'll thank yourself in 4 weeks.
Yes, 4 weeks, you guys. It's never too late.
4 weeks,
so get started.
You'll notice a big difference if you do it right.
Well, thank you so much, Tony.
Thank you, June. Pleasure to be here. And thank you, everybody, for listening.
Thank you, guys. Stay on before we go. 1 second. Thank you, guys. I will see you tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. See you soon.
Now this for everybody fighting through the pain and the pressure. You know life will try to test you, but you promise not to give up for your mama and your sister, and your brother and your cousin, everybody else that's with you.